Welcome back to Movie Draft House. I'm your host Mark. It's another 5-minute review. In today's review, we're going to be talking about the HBO original series True Detective Night Country, and this is the 4th season of True Detective, and it's the first season in, I want to say, 4 years. I think it's 4 years, 3 years, maybe. I don't know. But Night Country stars Jodie Foster as Liz Danvers. She's Chief Danvers of a small town in Alaska. And Callie Race, who plays Evangeline Navarro, and she is a state trooper in Alaska. Finn Bennett plays an officer under Chief Danvers. And then John Hawkes, who plays Hank Pryor, who is also Finn Bennett's character's dad, and they're both police officers at the police department that Danvers is the chief at. And so Isa Lopez is the director for the entire series, all 6 episodes. And this season was written by Isa Lopez. I don't think Nick Pizzolatto had really anything to do. He might have been like an executive producer, but he's the series creator and also the director of the first season. And maybe he did because there's a lot of callbacks in this season to season 1 that starred Matthew McConaughey and what's his face, Woody Harrelson. So I'm gonna just say. And so the entire season has premiered. All 6 episodes are out. You can go watch them now, all straight through. This was a weekly release. Started off strong. I really enjoyed episode 1 and 2, and then we had a real big lull in the character dynamics of Callie Reese and Jodie Foster's characters. And they don't like each other. They're not BFFs. I wish we had gotten more dynamic between Finn Bennett's character and John Hawkes' character, father and son. But by the end of the season, I just felt like we got a lot of supernatural, like throughout the season. We got a lot of supernatural things, a lot of supernatural, just connections. Like, there's an Inuit tribe. That's what I'm saying right now. And several characters have connections to to these people. From Alaska, and by the end of the season, I felt like it wasn't rushed, but I felt like they didn't tie enough in. Like, there's a lot of loose threads left, unexplained. Like in the first, and spoiler, and I'm gonna like kind of get into spoilers a little bit. So the first episode, all these researchers from this science lab out in the middle of nowhere in Alaska, they go missing, and then they're found in the middle of nowhere, out in the cold. And this takes place during the 30 days of night in Alaska where there is no sunlight. But they're found naked, all huddled together, frozen, dead. And so Danvers is trying to figure out what happened to him, and Callie Reese, she gets brought in is because, there's, I guess, multiple crime scenes, and she's a state trooper, so she has jurisdiction everywhere. And they uncover different things, and there's, kind of just illusions of like bigger government conspiracy type stuff, and then, like, John Hawkes' character turns out to be a villain. And John Hawkes, I mean, great actor. I really love most of the stuff he does and has been in, and he's one of Hollywood's most underrated actors. I just didn't think he got enough here. So by the end, in the first episode, there's a tongue that's left on the floor when nobody knows whose tongue it belongs to, or whose tongue that is. And then by the end, we still don't know whose tongue, and it was very prominently displayed in episode 1. And I just felt like there's a lot of things that just went left unsaid. It was very convoluted in the middle. So I'm gonna say skip it, because this is not the strongest True Detective season. It's not the worst for sure, but considering the callbacks to season 1 and where those led, I just feel like a lot of missed opportunities here. And the acting by Jodie Foster at times was bleh. So skip it. Anyways, hit the subscribe button when it pops up so you don't miss any future content right here in the podcast. And if you want to follow the podcast on all your favorite social media platforms, we're on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, right here on YouTube. So give us a like, follow, and a subscribe. And don't forget, the podcast releases weekly every Thursday on your favorite podcast streaming platform, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, here on YouTube. We're doing big things everywhere. So we'll catch you next time.
What happened in the last case you worked with Navarro?
That was good. Until it wasn't. We were too late. There was nothing we could do.